let's talk about people who say, I'm coming over to your place when things get bad. Aloha and welcome to Hawaii Preppers Network 808. Now, I'm sure you've seen all these comments on other prepping channels, how individuals say that they're going to come over to your place, they're going to steal all your food, and yada yada, on and on. Now, how would you respond and or react to that? Of course, it's easy to respond and react in the comment section. But now, if they took it that far to actually show up at your home, how exactly do you plan on responding and reacting to this? For myself, a couple members know that I prepare and how I stress the importance of it for each and every one of them to be prepared. But when you have a friend or a coworker or a family member that does know about this, they don't know the extent, but they have an idea. But when they do know about this and they begin to tell you, I'm just coming over to your place, how are you going to respond to that? Well, I did happen to have a family member tell me those exact words. And my response was, well, if you're coming over to my place, you better be prepared. You better bring food, water, all the necessary emergency items and supplies that you and your family will need. Also, you best be strapping every single family member as well. You need to bring all and every single supply that you and all of your family members entailed will need, from medical supplies, just the whole gamut. And I also said, no one's coming in a disaster to my home unless they're prepared themselves. And so when I did message that family member that, I didn't receive a reply for the longest time. But that's the truth. Family or no family member, anybody. Because I also stated that I'm not gonna be feeding everybody that's coming over empty-handed to my home. It doesn't work that way. I'll help you out this first time. From there, you learn to stockpile, you learn to have food storage and stock up on everything. You learn to read the signs and the writings on the wall of everything that is going on economically, financially, everything that is collapsing. You know, it's right there smacking you in the face and telling you, get a go on. So basically, that's what I respond. That's my response. In anybody, you know, it could be friends, it could be neighbors. You know, if anybody tells me that they're gonna just come on over, it doesn't work that way. And it will not work that way for a lot of people across the United States. All these people that do prepare. Because if these individuals decide to come over unannounced, uninvited, empty-handed, they might just be staring down a couple barrels. They're gonna meet that before they meet anything else. The game will be changed. Nothing will be the same. No one will be the same. Everything will be all over the place. And that's one thing I feel a lot of people do not realize, especially the ones that are thinking that they can come over to your place, take your stuff, or, you know, bring their whole clan, and they think they know you, but in a WROL, without rule of law, the game completely changes. So I'm really interested in knowing what you think, what your take is from that standpoint of, I'm coming over to your place. How would you react? How would you respond? What is your initial response to whatever individual says those things? Because I know, as I read through a lot of comments through a lot of these channels, and a lot of the responses are basically staring down barrels, basically in a nutshell. So people don't realize what they're going to be walking into. So yeah, it's best to be prepared. Anybody and everybody. And we're 1 day away from this major strike to occur. The dock workers from the East Coast and Gulf Coast ports that are about to take place Monday and or Tuesday. So more so, everyone should be prepared, because this is going to affect a lot of people. It's going to affect a lot of things, because so much is interconnected. Jobs and, material for manufacturers, and not just food, not just clothing, not just, the basic needs, but the other needs of other people from other jobs, other companies that rely on shipment, that rely on things coming through these cargo ships. And it's going to be a mess. It's tremendously going to be a horrendous mess. And it might not be like all the shelves are going to, everybody's going to just ransack everything for a bit, but who knows? I may be wrong. Depending on your area, the East Coast might panic and create a tremendous hoarding scenario where, nothing will be on the shelves, actually. And I'm sure a lot of people are stocking up across those states. And, it's just best to be prepared. But it's funny, because I spoke to my neighbor, and one of my neighbors here, he works on the docks here in the West Coast, and he actually works with my brother, because my younger brother is, he works for one of these docks here, one of the ports here. And I don't think he was even aware that the East Coast was going on a strike. And so I brought that up to him this morning. And, the consensus and the feel of the reply was more along the lines of, we don't really have to worry and this and that. But I told him, I said, this is going to affect the entire nation, because this is huge. And not only that, they're going to end up redirecting all these cargo ships to the West Coast ports. So you guys are going to get bombarded. You're going to totally get overwhelmed. And then he agreed. So I sent him a video regarding the shipping, the dock, the longshoremen, the ILA, that's going on strike on Monday. So probably he's going to keep a heads up on what's going on down at the shipyard here. But I'm keeping track of everything that's going on, and just hoping, praying for the best, that they'll negotiate their contract and get exactly what they are rightfully deserving of, because without them, the whole nation would be screwed, in a nutshell, basically. And a lot of people need to realize the importance of these dock workers, because if all these dock workers are on strike, longer than a day. I mean, even a day would affect a lot of things, but a week or a couple weeks or going into months, let's hope it doesn't go that far, but it would be catastrophic. I think we all know this, that it will be completely catastrophic. The effects will be a rippling and crippling effect on our entire nation. With that said, I hope you are all stocked up, prepared for anything and everything, not just what's happening now and what we're seeing, but basically being prepared at any given moment and always being in that state of preparedness, because when the need arises, the time to prepare has already passed, and it's better to have and not need than need it and not have it. All right, folks, have a great weekend. Aloha.